The Summer Game Fest season has officially wrapped up thanks to Sonic Central last week, and I'm personally a big fan of Sonic, and I think that Sonic Superstars might even give the plumber a run for his money. I think the Blue Blur might be back in 2D. Nintendo is often called the Disney of video games, much to Shigeru Miyamoto's dismay, but I think we can all agree that the comparison is apt. Charming characters with gloves, beloved by people of all ages, a theme park, a content vault. There's really no other equivalent to Disney's iconography in the video game space, much to Jim Ryan's dismay. Mario being analogous to Mickey Mouse is interesting because Mario is used far more in actual projects compared to Mickey in 2023, but the similarity they share is that both of them are rarely offered the opportunity to get weird anymore for the sake of brand consistency. Now, for every Illumination Mario or Mickey in a mascot suit, there are obviously exceptions. Ubisoft's Mario with a gun, King Mickey the Deserter, but the most common appearances for both of these characters are what I'll call the marketing ones, the ones you see in the parks, in the official Nintendo store, or in the new Super Mario Bros. Series. It's very popular to hate this look, and you could say that I'm fueling that fire by making this video, but I love some of the NSMB games, the Wii one specifically, and at a point in time, this art style was novel. But you cannot deny that at this point in time, it's become, I'll say safe, others will say soulless. So today, we're talking about soullessness in video games. In an age where, out of necessity almost, AAA games are pretty safe and by the numbers, you can always count on Nintendo to be a little inventive or creative. And when we got Super Mario Odyssey, I looked at Mario after a very, very long cycle of NSMB games and thought, oh yeah, this guy's getting fucking weird again. But at this point in the Nintendo Switch life cycle, post-Mario movie, when everybody assumed that there was going to be a new 2D Mario this year, the threat of another new Super Mario Bros. Game loomed to drag down that weirdness from Odyssey. But now we can confidently say with Super Mario Bros. Wonder, this guy's getting his freak back on. Maybe not to the extent of Mario teaches typing, but closer in that direction than anything we've gotten since 2006. Some, however, have called both the new art style, the new Super Mario Bros. Art style, and the new Wonder art style barely distinguishable, and both equally soulless. And I'm not here to argue semantics on that, but I am going to tell you to get your eyes checked. Now, I am not an expert in how to quantify soul, but I think soul and sauce are close enough in similarity in that Venn diagram where I can give some examples to help demonstrate how big of an upgrade this actually is. If I'm anything, I'm a sauce guy. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, no sauce. Assassin's Creed Mirage, a little sauce. Comparatively, God of War Ragnarok, they insist there is sauce. And you, believe them. No More Heroes, or anything from Suda 51 and Grasshopper Manufacture. Has sauce. A lot of it. Hades, dripping with sauce. Control, and Remedy games in general, dare I say swimming in sauce. New Super Mario Bros. U, no sauce. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, sauce that's so good you buy a bottle on the way out of the store. Now, with these examples, Nintendo being the exception, I don't think it's an accident that these games finding themselves having sauce are smaller budget ones that can presumably take more risks because they don't need to recoup a $220 million budget. It seems the only way to do that is by casting a net as wide as possible and hoping it becomes a mainstream hit. When we look at a game like Hades, No More Heroes, or Control, I am hard-pressed to find a single game doing it like them. Yes, there are plenty of roguelikes. There's a lot of games trying to be funny. Or weird. But there's something so earnest about these games that manifests in sauce. Or back to the original topic of discourse here, a soul. These games take conventions of their genre and do something creative with it. No More Heroes uses its format and structure to comment on capitalism. Control makes a third-person shooter riveting in its set pieces and tackling surreal supernatural elements to gamify them. And Hades makes a genre really fun and makes sense within a narrative. All of these, though, are hyper-specific games that could never appeal to a wide audience the way an Uncharted, a Call of Duty, or even a Final Fantasy XVI could. We've learned a lot about market leaders and game budgets this week thanks to the Microsoft FTC court case. And maybe it's unfair to want a game like Halo or God of War to find sauce and take a risk the way we see Mario do so frequently and with wonder. After all, Nintendo's in first and can clearly afford dealing with a catastrophic mistake at the cost of trying to be innovative. If we listen to the sage advice of one Sonic T. Hedgehog, saying, quote, "I want shorter games with worse graphics, made by people who are paid more to work less." And I'm not kidding. Maybe instead of prioritizing the safe thing that works, because we spent a lot of money on this, just maybe the next time we see Kratos or Master Chief, they will also balloon up into an elephant. That's all for Low Poly this week. I'll see you next time. Now listen, we all know Mario is video games, but I think we're being a little too fast and overlooking the original breakout star into multimedia that reached beyond video games. Generations across the globe know him as a TV show character, a comic book character, a film character, or a video game character. I am of course referring to Sonic the Hedgehog. Now I would argue Sonic is the sauce king. There is sauce oozing out of Sonic, to the point that we so rarely view him as sauceless. At least those that understand the difference between sauce and no sauce. Maybe music is pretty integral to having sauce, or soul, let's get back to that, in games. Art is clearly one element, but even growing up, I think the reason Sonic resonated so hard for having an otherworldly vibe is the music and soundscape in the adventure games, and to this day, I haven't heard a sound in games as ethereal as the Sonic Mega Collection history track. Sonic Superstars, though, jury's out. Going back to classic Sonic in a form that is not Mania pixel art feels sauceless, but we are doing all new zones. That is promising. Frontiers exists, and I have to respect actually turning Sonic in Unreal Engine YouTube videos into a real game. That buys him sauce for at least the next 3 misses. So let me know, who do you think is going to be the real sauce king this fall? Rumor is Sonic Superstars is dropping this October, the same week as Super Mario Wonder, which we just established has the sauce. So who's going to be the sauce boss this fall? Is it going to be Mario, the Italian, or is it going to be Sonic the Hedgehog?